Have you ever had an obsession? I mean, truly had an obsession. Not Justin Bieber. Tickets go on sale at 12, you buy them at 12:01. I'm talking about something you cannot control, something that was eating you alive. Have you ever really been obsessed? Well, 1 in 200 Americans are obsessed. In fact, they have a disease, a disorder even. And it's frightening, terrifying. In fact, they think their skin is crawling with bugs and dirt and grime. They're obsessed. And while they're obsessed, what are you? These people are suffering from what's called OCD. And it's not what you think. It's not obese cow disease or overly controlling dads. It's obsessive compulsive disorder. And somewhere between 2 to 3 million Americans have it. It's as common as diabetes, and there is close to no genetic link that we know of so far. It's just an anxiety disorder, just an anxiety disorder. Because when there's ever something just an anxiety disorder, I mean, this is actually very terrifying. People are terrified to leave their houses, to go throughout their day. Imagine not living the life you imagine because of something mental holding you back. Something you wish you could stop, but you can't. Something that you were just born with. Now, just merely breaking down the term obsessive, compulsive, you have your obsessive thoughts, you have your fear. Most people are afraid of dirt or germs usually, or they're over concerned about their body and how they're presented. This leads to a concern of order and neatness within a person usually. There's a fear of doing something embarrassing, which is why most people never leave their house. So when I say this is a disorder that literally halts your life, I'm not exaggerating at all. And then there's the compulsive. This is the really scary one. This is the one where you take extreme measures just to make yourself feel safe. I'm talking about avoiding malls, avoiding anywhere that you think might be disgusting to you, anything that you think might harm you or others in any way. This is the washing your hands to get the dirt from under your fingernail, even though you washed it away 4 hours ago. This is the flipping the light switch on and off, locking your door 17 times. This is the nightmare. This is what they make movies about. This is the scary part. Imagine. Can you imagine taking these measures just to keep yourself safe? Can you really? Okay, so to start off, the main difference between an obsession and a compulsion is that an obsession is the thought or the impulse that you have. So the obsession is that you do not want to harm yourself. So the compulsion is the thing you do to relax yourself, to keep yourself out of the harm. That's the simplest way I can explain it. The exact cause of OCD is not fully understood yet studies have shown that a combination of biological and environmental features are the cause. Biologically, OCD can be inherited, or studies have found a link between the Streptococcus bacteria and OCD. And this infection, it's more common for children to get it when untreated. Environmentally, it's to people who have suffered abuse, trauma, death, or anything stress-related can be the factor for why the OCD developed in adulthood. use prescription medication and go with the counseling route, which has worked for many people. Therapy has been proven to actually overcome the anxiety that causes it and takes new steps to preventing it from happening. But there's also medication, there's Prozac, which is an antidepressant which helps with anxiety, which will also cure OCD in the long run.
It is a crippling and mysterious disease that makes everyday life a minefield for some 5 million Americans. OCD, or obsessive compulsive disorder. And one of those people is superstar comedian Howie Mandel. On stage, he makes millions of people laugh, but off stage, he can't shake hands with them, or touch a doorknob, or a glass, or even be with his own family at times. Here's David Muir.
It's 7 o'clock in the morning, and Howie Mandel arrives at the set of Deal or No Deal.
First trick of the day.
Almost immediately, glimpses of the Howie Mandel that he's kept secret for most of his career.
Handrails are my enemy. I never go near a handrail. I won't open those things. I would never serve myself. I wouldn't touch this because a lot of people have touched that. This is actually my nightmare.
Mandel has obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD.
I love this. Every door should just push out.
His obsession, germs, an obsession made famous with his trademark fist bump.
And what's the difference between shaking the hand and the fist bump?
In my mind, this is a petri dish. Otherwise, I would spend the day as I have in the past in my life in the men's room, rubbing and scrubbing and scalding.
But as we were about to learn, Howie Mandel's OCD goes far beyond that fist bump. Off stage, it is all-consuming.
Look, everything's brand new each day. That's normally how a workstation looks. Look at my stuff. It's all brand new, not touched.
Even Mandel's trademark bald head is this way by choice.
This feels so streamlined and so clean. You know, it just feels cleaner.
Not even 8:30 in the morning, and we've barely scratched the surface. Mandel has written a new book called Here's the Deal, Don't Touch Me, revealing his...
The first time I saw her, everything in my head went quiet. All the tics, all the constantly refreshing images just disappeared. When you have obsessive compulsive disorder, you don't really get quiet moments. Even in bed, I'm thinking, they're locked the door yet, the washman's yet, the locked the door yet, the washman's yet. When I saw her, the only thing I could think about was the hairpin curve of her lips, or the eyelash on her cheek, the eyelash on her cheek, the eyelash on her cheek. I knew I had to talk to her. I asked her about 6 times in 30 seconds. She said yes after the third one, but none of them felt right, so I had to keep going. On our first date, I spent more time organizing my meal by color than I did eating or fucking talking to her. But she loved it. She loved that I had to kiss her goodbye 16 times or 24 times if it was Wednesday. She loved it took me forever to walk home because there are lots of cracks on our sidewalk. When we moved in together, she said she felt safe, like no one would ever rob us because I definitely locked the door 18 times. I'd always watch her mouth when she talked, when she talked, when she talked, when she talked, when she talked. When she said she loved me, her mouth would curl up at the edges. At night, she'd lay in bed and watch me turn all the lights off and on and 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 off. She'd close her eyes and imagine that days and nights were just passing in front of her. Some mornings, I'd start kissing her goodbye, but she'd just leave because I was making her late for work. When I stopped at a crack in the sidewalk, she just kept walking. When she said she loved me, her mouth was a straight line. She told me I was taking up too much of her time. Last week, she started sleeping at her mother's place. She told me that she shouldn't have let me get so attached to her, that this whole thing was a mistake. But how can it be a mistake that I don't have to wash my hands after I touch her? Love is not a mistake. It's killing me that she can run away from this, and I just can't. I can't go out and find someone new, because I always think of her. Usually, when I obsess over things, I see germs sneaking into my skin. I see myself crushed by an endless succession of cards, and she was the first beautiful thing I ever got stuck on. I want to wake up every morning thinking about the way she holds her steering wheel, how she turns shower knobs like she's opening a safe, how she blows out candles, 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 blows out. Now, I just think about who else is kissing her. I can't breathe because he only kisses her once. He doesn't care if it's perfect. I want her back so bad. I leave the door unlocked. I leave the lights on.